Welcome our guest, Janis Burley Wilson. Hello. Welcome. I'm Joseph Hall, the Executive Director of the Kelly Strayhorn Theater, and this is 19 Minutes with Joseph Hall. I'm just going to wait to welcome folks into the room and welcome our guest, Janis Burley Wilson, the CEO and President of the August Wilson African American Cultural Center. So hang out. She'll be with us shortly. Thanks for being here. Hey everyone, this is Joseph Hall. I'm just waiting for my guest, Janis Burley Wilson. She'll join us soon. Hey, if you watched Hotline Ring, if you participated, if you donated, thank you so much. That was such a tremendous project, ambitious, over the top. We really felt the love with everyone who tuned in. So thank you. If you have no idea what I'm talking about the fundraiser that we just had, which was a collective virtual fundraiser. It's still on Facebook. It's called Hotline Ring. You can catch it on Kelly Strayhorn's Facebook, KS Theater. It was a 7-hour marathon of a fundraiser. And we did it with 6 other organizations, and collectively we raised around $130,000. So if you want to check out that program, please feel free to. It is on Facebook. Yes, Christopher said Hotline Ring was hot, HAWT. That's how hot it was. It was so hot we could not even spell hot the usual way. We had to find another way, as we do. Today, joining us will be Janis Burley Wilson, the CEO and President of the August Wilson African American Cultural Center. Stick around. She will be with us shortly. Thanks for tuning in. I am... Oh, 1 second. Oh, here we go. Bear with us. Instagram Live, figuring it out. It's always different every time. Every time it feels so different. Hi, Tanya Grubbs. I see that you logged on. How are you doing? Haven't seen you in so long. Did you just participate in the Highland Park porch concerts? If you're in here, please let us know. Oh, you're on your 10th porch concert. Tanya, can I bring you in to speak with you before we get Janis on the line? I would love to check in about how those concerts are going. I'm just going to invite you and see if you accept it. Hello.
Hey, I can't really talk much because I'm actually working, so I'm
Oh,
multitasking. You
working.
know how that is. Yeah, hit me
Well,
up another time. Would that be cool?
no problem. I hope the concerts have been going well, though.
Yeah, it's great. It's just a beautiful thing. Yeah.
That's great. All
We'll
right.
talk
Well,
soon.
thank you.
Bye.
See ya. Hey everyone, we're just having some tech issues, trying to figure them out. We will be speaking with Janis Burley Wilson. She's the president and CEO of the August Wilson African American Cultural Center. So we're going to see if we can get her in here. Let's see. I think we're doing it. Bear with me. Thanks for being here. Hey, Maria. Oh, hello.
Okay, so I was on my laptop and that wasn't working properly. So now I'm on the phone. Hold on a minute.
It's always an adventure, so it's
I'm here. How are
different
you?
every time. Hello.
How are you
So
doing?
good to see you.
It's good to see you too. I can't wait to be able to see you and everybody in person again. This is
Completely agree. I think we're all so tired of these screens. I didn't know we would get there.
yeah. It really makes you appreciate the people that you care about. It makes you appreciate that physical contact and just eye contact, smelling people, their scent, their, everything.
All of the senses.
Everything. Yeah.
All
So
of the senses.
for
Well,
today.
thanks for being here, and I want to welcome everyone who is in the room. I'm Joseph Hall, and this is 19 Minutes with Joseph Hall. I'm the executive director of the Kelly Strayhorn Theater, and today we are joined by Janis Burley Wilson, the president and CEO of the August Wilson African American Cultural Center. And I'm just going to give you a visual description of myself for those who it may benefit. I'm a light-skinned black man, cisgender, a beard. I have, dark eyes, dark eyebrows. I have one earring today, and I'm located inside of the Alloy Studios, which is a dance studio. So primarily you're seeing kind of our light grid and some windows to our office. And I have with me Janis Burley Wilson.
Hi, and I'm in my home. I'm in my living room. I'm trying to up my game a little bit with Zoom and Instagram. So, I was working this morning to try to get a decent background. So I hope everybody likes it.
It's all about the backgrounds these days. It's all about the backgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sometimes I work in the lobby of the Kelly Strayhorn Theater and folks ask if it's a virtual background, but it is indeed a physical background. Yes.
Yeah.
So Janis, I always open with how are you? And I'm really speaking about how are you, in this moment. You serve many, I'm sure you have many responsibilities, many roles in your life, but how are you the person?
How am I the person? Well, I'll start with my family. My family is fine. Everybody's healthy. Thank God. My children, I have 3 children. They're healthy. They're still trying to, they're reeling from their life being uprooted from school and all of that. I also have a son who does not understand why he can't, go out and do the things he wants to do. As a Black woman, I am struggling to remain hopeful. When, every time you turn on the television, there's news that you're losing the fight for racial justice, for social justice, for losing the fight against the pandemic. So struggling, but thriving in spite of all of that. I also have a staff that depends on me, as you do, right? And as the leader, you have to be hopeful and optimistic for the future. And I am optimistic for the future of our organization. The August Wilson African American Cultural Center is obviously has suffered, as other organizations have. We've lost all of our earned revenue this year, rentals and things like that.
Yep.
We haven't been able to present the programs the way we normally do with all of the people and the numbers. We all want that attendance. We haven't been able to do that, but I'm really proud of the staff because as I said, in spite of the fact that we have limited resources, limited human resources, my staff is very small, we've been able to switch it up, flip it and go virtual as you have. Programming has been very successful and very well received. Don't have an IT person on staff. We're all kind of learning. I had to learn how to do this Instagram thing. I'm on Instagram but I don't do this. So
Yes.
we're all kind of trying to figure it out. And that is really what inspires me. It's the resiliency, the brilliance of my staff, such smart people, and we just figure it out. And, I was having, I'm just rambling now, but I had a conversation
Please.
yesterday with a funder. Okay. And I was talking about the state of affairs for organizations that serve the Black community or Black led organizations.
Mm-hmm.
And we are so used to doing the most with less.
Yes.
That while this is the major, this is horrible, like catastrophe, right? We're losing all our earned revenue. We're used to doing 5 different jobs. I'm the marketing director, I'm the artistic director, I'm the president. Yep. I put flyers up. I'm used to working that way. We shouldn't have to, but we're used to doing that. So despite all of that, we are thriving. We're surviving, and we're trying to make sure that we thrive and that we're here on the other side to continue to serve the people, our audience.
Yeah, and what you were talking about, I've been thinking about a lot, kind of, having a penny and having to do, $1 million worth of programming with a penny. We've had to do that historically. And,
right.
I am hopeful that out of this, maybe we'll get a little bit closer to where we actually should be, what we can actually do with the dollars, what our worth actually is.
Right.
I hope that is part of our progress after this, that
yes.
our value is seen more, and we are also asking for what we really need. Yeah,
right.
I hope we get there.
What we deserve. I mean, I've been around a long time. Joseph, I remember when we were all much younger, and I've been very vocal about that from the beginning of my little career in the art. I didn't know better. I was like, well, what do you mean I get this much to do this much? I don't understand. So I am hopeful for that. I think that people are recognizing that our work is really vital right now. The work of the artist is going to be central to healing for our community, but I think for the globally, that's what's going to get us through. And giving people an opportunity, giving them a forum, a platform to create, to experience other people's creativity.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everybody's online looking for their favorite artist, looking for a concert, looking for a poem, looking for something to heal their souls, right? So I think that the people that, or the organizations that make it possible for us to do our work really see the value.
And I think, speaking about this is undoubtedly a shift. We are experiencing a major shift in our country, and I think probably the globe. And I think, along with artists kind of guiding us in a healing way, they're also really documenting this error. When we look back on it, what we will discover is dance, is poetry, is literature, and we'll be able to make sense of what was happening during this time.
Right.
But Janis, you spoke about when we were younger, and I have to mention that when I first came to Pittsburgh, I worked downtown as a ticket seller for the Cultural Trust and the Symphony. And I remember you coming in to the Theater Square box office. And at that time, I think you were the vice president for strategic partnership and community engagement at the Trust. And every time you came in, I didn't have long interactions with you, but I was like, who is that woman? She is amazing. I felt kind of like, I want to be that. I want to be her. So it's so, it's so exciting for me to see you now at the August Wilson African American Cultural Center. And I wonder if you can talk a little bit about how that journey has been. I mean, I know that you've been in that position since 2018 and, really ramping up programming. And now we're experiencing this. So, how has that journey been?
Well, I would say that, first of all, thank you for that. And I am so thrilled to see you in your position. And I can't wait to see what you have planned, because what you've been able to pull off in the midst of a plague and happening has been remarkable.
Thank you.
So I'm really, really excited about you and excited about working with you. But I guess I would say my journey has not been a traditional one. I didn't go to school for art. I didn't have a lot of, well, I didn't have any real arts management experience before I started working at the trust. Someone took a chance on me, right? And I proved that I could deliver, right? So what I'm really excited about right now in my position is grooming that next generation of arts leaders, arts management leaders. My entire staff is brilliant. I'm going to say that. And if they're watching, I love all of you.
Yes.
They're coming from an arts background. Okay. I hired them because they had something else, to bring a different perspective on what we, on what we do, on the arts. But I think that between you, between me, between some of these other arts organizations, we can groom that next generation so that when there is a position available at the Kennedy Center or at Lincoln Center, or I'm naming the big ones.
Sure.
We are in the running. We are in the mix. We're in the pool like everybody else, So I'm excited about that. That's one of the things that really kind of keeps me going. I'm thinking about 10 years from now in that regard. But as far as my, I guess the mission of the center, I want the center to be a global destination, right? And while this is a horrible situation that we're dealing with, the opportunity that came out of it, the silver lining, I guess, is to have an opportunity to really focus on the virtual. So I'll give you an example with our jazz festival, which was the 10th anniversary of that. And that was a program that I started 10 years ago with very little buy-in, with a little bit of funding and a lot of determination and willingness to kind of get knocked down, and I guess determination to thrive in spite of the fact that a lot of people didn't want to see that. They didn't want to see that programming happen. We went to a virtual platform and we reached over 50,000 people around the globe. So across the US, the Netherlands, Africa, West Africa, India, I said the Netherlands, France, the UK, so
yes.
Take the brand beyond the walls, beyond Liberty Avenue was such a gift of, from this time period. Our other virtual programming, like our Lit Fridays, which has been basically a discussion like this with people like Damon Young, Yona Harvey, Vanessa German, performances by Ruben Santiago Hudson, Jessica Hare Moore, the poet, she's amazing, Nathan James, Pearl Arts, and then some local, other local artists have participated in our programming. It's been a great way for us to, again, just take our brand beyond the walls, to go global, and and take our local arts community, put them out there as well on a global stage. So I'm really interested in taking the name August Wilson because it resonates around the globe.
Yep.
Using this as an opportunity to focus on that. The programming that we're doing, the programming you're doing, it speaks for itself. What we're committed to is clear in everything that we do, right? So taking that message outside of Pittsburgh has been, I guess that's where I am. That's where the journey from the trust to August Wilson African Cultural Center has taken me to a global stage. That's what I'm really committed to.
And what I love is, for those who may not know, of course, the August Wilson African American Cultural Center is named after playwright August Wilson, who, like Janis said, is known around the world. And Kelly Strayhorn is named after Gene Kelly and Billy Strayhorn. Some folks don't know that Billy Strayhorn was a jazz composer and wrote a lot of Duke Ellington's hits. we get the opportunity to represent those folks, those Pittsburgh natives who really changed the world, and present artists like you said, Vanessa German and Damon Young, and folks who already have such a huge reputation and are receiving so many accolades and so many well-deserved accolades for the incredible work that they're doing. I love that we have the ability to connect August Wilson to Vanessa German, because that's right. That's exactly right. I love that.
I think that that's really the best way to celebrate the legacy of the people that you're talking about. Talk Gene Kelly, innovator. I mean, athlete. I mean, if you look at those old movies, he probably was as fit as any Olympic athlete from what he was doing. And Billy Strayhorn, complete genius and known around the globe.
Yes.
I've traveled around the world really for promoting our jazz festival and other programs. And when I say I'm from Pittsburgh, those are the people that they talk about. They talk about August Wilson, they talk about Billy Strayhorn, they talk about Art Blakey, they talk about, we have so many talented artists here that will be those names in the future. Those will be that will be mentioned when we're old people, on vacation, and we say we're from Pittsburgh. Like Vanessa German's from Pittsburgh, Damon Young, that writer. So I think that I just feel really fortunate to still be employed, okay, right now, because so many of our friends are not.
Yes.
That's a blessing. And also fortunate to be able to celebrate our culture just unapologetically, unabashedly, bashedly, or whatever the word is. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Really just in a grand way. Because I've been in situations where that was not the case. When you work for a mainstream arts organization, you have to kind of shrink sometimes. We don't have to shrink. Isn't that fantastic? I wake up smiling thinking about, I don't have to shrink at work. I don't have to do that. My staff doesn't have to shrink. And that's really a gift.
Right. That's right. Janis, I've neglected these comments. Folks are giving you so much shine. Let's see. Ime says, Janis is glowing and good work, Jay.
Love you.
Someone says, I love this platform. Someone commented, $1 million programming with a penny budget, a conference, a whole seminar. So folks are resonating. Hashtag resourceful. So lots of folks on here obviously understand where we're coming from.
Yeah, we do this all the time. We do this with nothing, and sometimes there's a drawback to that, because people are so used to us making magic on stage in galleries with little resources that they just assume, oh, that's what they can make it happen. And we shouldn't have to. We shouldn't have to do. I'll just say we shouldn't have to do that. But I want to tell you about a really exciting project that's happening at the August Wilson Center.
Please.
Right now. Well, a couple different things. We're working on capital projects while we've been closed. We've been very fortunate to get funding for some of the things that were not completed when the building was originally, like the kitchen, right? So we'll have a demonstration kitchen that will be complete by the end of August. So excited about that. And because before we had people cooking on loading docks and in hallways. And, it's just...
And will you have an in-house restaurant there?
Not yet.
Okay.
Baby steps.
Got it.
Yeah, but that could happen in the future. I don't know. But what a wonderful opportunity for somebody, right? And then the other thing that we're working on is a permanent August Wilson exhibit that will open in April 2021. And it was written up in the New York Times, which is exciting. And when that article came out, the reporter at the New York Times said that they had not written about the center since it closed. The last story was, not good news.
Right.
So this is really exciting for us. But this will be an exhibit that documents his life, his process, the way that he worked, and then a scene or a room for each of the plays, right? And it's a permanent exhibition that will be housed in the first floor gallery, in the BNY Mellon Gallery.
Okay.
And we see that as a game changer for the organization, kind of a global destination. If you want to learn about August Wilson, this is the best place to go, because we're working closely with the estate. We're working with the people that he worked with on the plays when they went to Broadway, when he was writing the plays, with the actors, with the directors. It's just really exciting.
That's fantastic. And do you foresee a particular kind of digital component to that?
Yes.
Now that we're in this moment?
Sure, you plan to continue to have a virtual presence, even when we're allowed to open back up. And we're going to do the same, because we've learned, and again, that's the gift of this moment, the opportunity is that people can join you. You might hear laughing in the background. I have workers in my basement. I'm sorry.
No problem.
We're hammering. We can make friends around the world through this platform, and young people that can't get downtown. Maybe their parents are working and don't have time to bring them on a Saturday or something like that. Everybody has a phone, and they can join us and become a part of what we're doing. So we're excited about that. And there will definitely be a virtual component, a really strong educational program related to the exhibit, so we can work with schools and then work with the kid that has a phone, right? That might not have the teacher, or the school doesn't have the resources to bring them down and go to the exhibit and have lunch and might not be able to do that. They can do this through the phone. So we're definitely going to have virtual component to that.
That's excellent. Well, we look forward to that announcement and to visiting when we can. I have one question that I ask everyone, and then we can end it. But I want to know, what is your advice for me as a new executive director?
My advice for you? Well, I have a lot of advice for you. First thing is stay humble and hopeful, right? Humble because you're getting all these accolades. Oh, Joe's the greatest. He's had all this great programming. Don't let that go to your head, because someone will come out of left field to, give you a wallop, right? Yeah. So stay humble, stay hopeful and focused. Remember why you're doing this work, so that when the naysayers, the people that are not, and everybody isn't going to be happy, and with social media, they love to let you know that they're not happy, right? So they're not always going to be happy. Remember why you're doing it. You're going to have really difficult decisions to make that are for the best interest of the organization, so that it can last and can be here 5, 10, 20, 30 years from now. And some of the decisions people are really not going to be happy with, but you know that it's the best thing to do. You have to do those. You have to make those decisions, make them boldly, confidently, but again, stay humble and hope for the future, right? And the last one is listen to the people around you, listen to your staff, be open to suggestions. They may not always come in the most in the most polished presentation, but they also probably believe in the mission and want the best for the organization. So just listen objectively and not with your feelings, that's take care, get sleep, and understand that you have to be strong and healthy and fit yourself in order to best serve the center, or
yes, that's phenomenal advice. It seems real in a way, in a different way. It's hidden in a different way than the advice that I've received before in these Instagram conversations. So thank you for that. I appreciate that. I'll hold on to it.
We can.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
So I want to thank you for joining us again, everyone. Janis Burley Wilson, President and CEO of the August Wilson African American Cultural Center. There are clearly big things happening there. So stay tuned digitally on all of their platforms. And when they open back up, you may just see a brand new exhibit on August Wilson. Stay tuned with them. What is your website?
It is aacc.org.
So
August
check
Wilson Cultural Center /awc.org. aacc.org.
and August Wilson Cultural Center on Instagram. I see them on here. Hey, you're waving. I'm waving back at you. So check them out. Stay tuned. We are KS Theater on all platforms. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you next time, everyone. Thank you, Janis.
Bye.
Bye. Hi, I'm Joseph Hall, the Executive Director of the Kelly Strayhorn Theater. And for the last 4 months, I have had the great pleasure of working alongside brilliant cultural workers at KST and from 6 other arts organizations in community with or led by queer, Black, and people of color. From our separate homes every Friday at 10 a.m., we met over Zoom to imagine what equitable funding in Pittsburgh can look like. What began as a response to the cancellation of KST's annual fundraiser quickly became an ambitious, loving, collective effort that proposes a new model of resource sharing, an invitation, a calling in of lovers of the arts, future thinkers, change makers, and those committed to creating a more just world. On Thursday, July 16, from 5 p.m. to midnight, I invite you to join us for Hotline Ring, a virtual fundraiser benefiting 7 arts organizations making change in Pittsburgh. Donate to a specific organization, to several organizations, or to the shared pool of contributions. Join us for a moment, for an hour, or for the full event. Host a watch party with friends, pre-order a snack box from our partner restaurants, and register for our Zoom gatherings. Visit kelly-strayhorn.org/hotline ring for the full schedule and to make a donation today. Give what makes you happy, give what elates you, and give for a more just and equitable world. Hello. I'm here in Kelly Strayhorn Theater's lobby. This